get the door to find that you accidentally purchased 7 pounds of apples on your online grocery shopping app, and you fear of having them go to waste due to spoilage. But you remember in your food microbiology class how you would turn these apples into hard apple cider so the product would last longer and not end up thrown into compost. This is how to make hard apple cider, a 3-minute digital story. To make hard apple cider, you would first begin by sanitizing your area and equipment and cutting your apples into small slices that you would then add into a blender to juice them. This juice is strained in a nylon bag and pasteurized over 85 degrees Celsius and cooled to 20 after adding 9 cups of water. Then, a Campden tablet is added for good measure. Campden tablets contain sodium metabisulfite, a compound which when mixed with water creates 2 moles of sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is known for its antioxidative and antimicrobial properties as it kills most microorganisms by rupturing disulfide bridges and by deaminating cytosine to uracil to cause fatal mutations. This means that the sodium metabisulfite in the mixture will sterilize it entirely, meaning that the core ingredient for fermentation, the yeast, will have to wait a full 24 hours before being added. In the meantime, we can pour in the rest of the juice into the primary fermenter and stir in our remaining ingredients. This includes our 2 pounds of sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of acid blend, a 1/4 teaspoon of tannin, half a teaspoon of pectic enzyme, and 1 teaspoon of nutrient yeast. Now, you may be forgetting, how do these ingredients contribute to the final product? Well, they are needed for the following reasons. Yeasts feed on sugar to produce ethanol. Though apples already naturally contain a lot of sugars, adding more sugar will promote fermentation and give your drink a sweeter taste. This process also produces CO2, carbon dioxide. For this anaerobic fermentation to occur, the environment must remain sealed. So how does this carbon dioxide pressure buildup escape? It is sealed with a 3-piece water-filled cup airlock. This airlock allows for the carbon dioxide produced by the yeasts to escape the primary fermenter without letting any spoilage microorganisms, such as acetic acid bacteria, to find its way in. If AAB enters the media, they will feed on the ethanol to produce acetic acid, thus turning our product into vinegar. This airlock also keeps the environment anaerobic, which is good, because if oxygen were to come into contact with the yeast, then aerobic respiration would occur and fermentation would stop. The acid blend is added for taste as it contributes to the acidity of the drink, but it also balances pH levels to allow for proper yeast fermentation. It comprises of 3 commonly found fruit acids: citric acid, malic acid, and tartaric acid. Tannins are natural preservatives that play a role in the fermentation process of the cider, giving the dryness feeling in the cheeks, and it has a bitter and/or astringent taste. The added pectic enzyme is what allows to separate the pectin from the juice, a natural thickener which we do not want in our cider. It will act on our product to release the pectins to form part of the undesirable fond at the bottom of the fermenter. Continuous stirring with sterilized equipment will be necessary to keep everything homogenized. However, a day before transferring the contents to a secondary fermenter, omit stirring to allow sediments to settle at the bottom before siphoning. These sediments are the pectins and dead yeast and other microorganisms that we do not want getting into our final product. Finally, yeast nutrients help boost the health of our yeast, also reducing fusel alcohol formations, which are alcohols containing more than 2 carbons that contribute to off flavors and hangovers. This fermentation should take place in a cool room about 20 to 22 degrees Celsius for 3 weeks, as too high temperatures can contribute to fusel alcohol productions. And there you have it, good hard apple cider to share. Please use proper judgment before consumption. Thank you.